And then, where was the other one that was it down here in Karlskrona, right? So do we have... We did theoretically break it, but this train here is still going between Karlskrona and the Kalmar Junction, and there we did have another train that was coming between Kristianstad and Karlskrona, so I think we're okay. Alright, we got our 3 million. So let's go ahead right now. And purchase our access to Norway. Bam. A lot of money. But it had to be done. And then I'm going to try to go from Karlstad to Oslo. Oslo, the question is, do you supply? No, you demand. Demand oil in both. And down here, was it a supply? It is. So Kristiansand to Oslo will be an important route for generating oil deliveries. Yeah, only the northern part of Denmark's on this map. It's mostly about this. But it's got quite a few cities. And the goal, the gold medal goal, is to connect all the Danish cities that are actually on the map itself. And it's a good thing there's not more cities. Invade Norway for freedom. We're working on it. Alright, so we are on electric track, which is good. And I will go through Dalaed. I may not focus on connecting to it quite yet, but I will go through it. Wow, that's going to be a lot of money. All right. And the economy is not great right now. Not horrible, but it's not great. More stocks. 1.5 million. I mean, we'll want this place, but we're gonna skip it for now. And of course we will. Oh, it's a little bit more hilly over here, so try to go along the slightly flatter bits. We're gonna get some grade regardless. Ooh, that's particularly poor. All right. Oh no! Can't get that other port. I mean, it should sort of kind of auto-flow. Alright, here's what we're going to do. I'm not sure we're going to be able to fit a house there, or a station. We're going to bulldoze that house. No, it doesn't help. Alright, it should still be in the catchment area. Like, it should still have some demand over here. This should be raising the prices of the oil in this area. See? The oil price is a little bit higher. The warehouse helps. And yeah, so the shipments that land here will sort of auto-flow over there. There's actually quite a bit of oil here that might get shipped somewhere else. Let's go and drop in water, water, repair. That's all electric. So we're going to go from Karlstad to Oslo. Maximum shipment. It's actually such a long route. I might go the other way. And yeah, it's actually, even though Karlstad has demand for oil, or at least it used to, now the prices drop down here to 83. A little higher in Oslo, but not much. Alright, well, it's still a load of something. A load of something. Soon Germany will be on the map. Well, people are still talking about travel. Yeah, Essentiala wants to go everywhere. Yeah, it sucks about this gradient here. I don't know. I don't think there's anything much I could avoid it. So we get a little bit of a slowdown in our trains, unfortunately. Unloading in Oslo. So how are we doing on our totals? Alcohol will get there. It's the oil is the question mark. You have no maintenance. Oh, hold on. Was it? Oh, it's Ystad where I broke the thing. I got confused about where I, so delete this and then add Lund. About where I changed my stations. So, presumably I have a train that's supposed to go between, Ystad and Kristianstad. That isn't going anywhere? Or has been removed? Maybe it was a triple train, and now it's doing the limited route. So what I have to do is build a new train specifically for this little bit. It's not an electrified track, so we'll use the diesel. And keep that going. There we go. All right, good. Yeah, that was less than great. Wow. That is a lot of money from this guy. All right, and speaking of money, it keeps going up. So yeah, more hills over here. The hills are alive with the sound of trains going slowly and being annoyed. I know, my singing voice. You guys. So that's going to be a little bit of a gradient there no matter what. I might start skipping a few more of these little towns that don't play into the oil game. We might run a little spur later on to grab them. Ooh. Alright, that minimizes it a little bit. Oh, and then I run out of money. Speed up. So I'll build the station here and get a little local train going. But yeah, without the core industries on this map, there's a lot less incentive to connect a lot of these little towns. I might ignore it. Yay, Oslo Zephyr, nice. Some pretty expensive electrified track here, but Kristiansand. Probably more like Sund or something, right? Like a sound. I'm just going to wait for the money to tick up. Obviously, we will need a maintenance station. Tell you what, I'll put it here. Water. 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 And a little bit more. And we've got money. So the GG1. Oh, it's GG. I thought it was CG. GG1 is going to run from, say, Oslo to Kristiansand. And it's actually such a big enough route, I bet you we could afford to go both ways. I'm going to do that. Especially since this is going to be a key part of our oil delivery system. Nice and valuable. And in building, these are electric trains, eh? Yeah. Outstanding reliability. Very nice. Woohoo! Alright, now that we're in Norway and we have access to Oslo, Gustavus Adolphus just subscribed for the 3rd month in a row. A very appropriate name given what we're doing. Now that we've gotten into Norway, we've connected Oslo. We need to connect to Stavanger and Trondheim for the bronze. No, to secure the bronze. So Stavanger is here. Trondheim is way in the... Oh my god. Seriously? And these are like big giant hill mountain bullshit things. So do we just go along the coast? I think we keep going along the coast. If nothing else, it looks like it's going to have more ports and things. So that's more alcohol and oil. Apparently, like, Scandinavians don't make their own booze. They just import it from somewhere else. I don't think that's true. Issue stock. Issue stock. Very nice. Oh, prime rate's gone down. We can get 6% loans. So let's, tell you what, let's get rid of our 7s. And, yeah, I'll get 1 6, and then I'm not going to get any more until I can get the ones at 5. Which mostly involve waiting for the economy to improve. So we're going to have to try to be very careful about building along the shoreline here. To try to minimize... Oh my god, exactly this bullshit. Everywhere you see the track turn red means our trains are going to be apocalyptically slow. But there's not really any way to dodge it all. Unless... Whoops. Unless I'm willing to spend a lot more money and increase the rate at which we're going to get tunnels and bridges. So we can make them common. And then we might be able to pad over a few things a little bit more. But, like, no. I'm going to dramatically increase the cost and not actually speed things up all that much. I think we're just going to have to soak the hit, you guys. Oh, it's just awful. Well, if anything, we've got to wait for more money, so let's do that. Although some pretty valuable trains here going to Oslo. I could have a direct train going between Oslo and Stockholm or something like that, which might be a cool express. The cities aren't quite big enough. Boom times! Okay, that means we should be able to get our 5% loans. Bam. 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 More debt. More debt. More debt. Okay. I'm gonna have to make sure I don't spend it all necessarily, but this should let us explode. Yeah, this is gonna be so slow. We probably won't actually run any trains on this line, if we can avoid it. We're building it so that we can technically connect to... What the fuck is this? Can I river across? Can't bridge across any of this nonsense? Okay, run a train line that sort of kind of goes into the town. I blame the fjords. Build a... I can't fit a big station. That will cover that. Really? If I get in there. Really? Son of a bitch. Oh, I can go out that way. Just got a little bit of potential. Maybe? If I bulldoze this little house here? Will you let me build a big station here? Really? Really? Oh, you... Technically, I can get one in here. Really? So... I did something like that. No, you won't connect. Urgh! Now, all the oil should flow out of here. Let me take a look real quick. I gotta grab it along the coast. I could put a station on the other side. Right? Just a little local junction over here. It'd be nice if I could connect to the city from the other side. Fill in one of these stupid little lakes. Oh, okay, this counts as connecting the town and gets both of the ports actually in there. Okay, we're not going to get most of the houses, so this is actually not going to be very high on passenger traffic, but that's alright. We get credit for connecting. We've got a goal to connect there. That's going to be alright. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to be sending any trains along here. It's just going to be too slow. So this is a place that... Cancel. That supplies oil and alcohol. And this is a place that requests it and has a very high value. Most of which is going along the sea as is. So we'll keep... That's not what I meant to do at all. I can undo that, right? Yeah. Can't go that way. Look at this. Oh, this is awful. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bridge. It's a little expensive, but... Oh, is there, like, fucking more goddamn fjords over here? So I gotta go, what, this way? Oh, this is awful. Stupid Norway! I don't want to build you any more trains. We can bridge across there, tunnel over here, spend all the money in the universe. What the? What? How? How am I supposed to get in here? Go over the mountains? We can spend $16 million on a tunnel. Gonna get the Trondheim over here. Oh, this is awful! What? The fjords in the mountains. What the fudge? Okay, no tunnels and bridges. We're just gonna come up with like the shittiest shit route in the universe. Right through the mountains as slow as possible. We gotta go around all these fjords. Oh, this is gonna be so slow. I shouldn't actually electrify it. I'm not gonna be running that many trains over here. Undo. 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 Turn off electrified. This is just going to be a diesel. Slow ass. Technically there, maybe. Nope, that's dead end. Can't go that way. God damn it, Norway. Why would you do this to me? That's it. I'm never visiting Norway. Certainly not going to travel by train. Oh, it's going to take all my money. Okay, we're going to come back to this at some point later. I think I will run a technical token train over here. Just to say. Water, water, water. You need to get a lot of those stops. And less about the water and more about the sand. Awful. Simply awful. One does not simply build rail into Norway. Here's a hint. There's a railway from Bergen to Oslo via Galo. So, yeah, right through the mountains this way. Like, look at this landscape. It's just horrific. So we're going to try to see if we can raise a little bit more money first by connecting maybe some more valuable routes. We've got some more ports over here, and Östersund is one of our goals, and I think it's got warehouses or ports. So we're going to start a new set of tracks. Electrified is fine. Turn the electrified on. And average bridges and tunnels. Now, electrify this little section over here. Thank you. And then we're going to take off this way. And turn the speed back on. And I take out all these debts. I got to make sure that I'm actually turning a bit of a profit in response to that. Right, lots of oil right now. Oslo and Stavanger connected. Everyone is in a festive mood. Yeah, well, not everyone. Here I was complaining that the map was going to be too easy. Because everything is too flat and boring. And then Norway. Grrr! So, connecting that last thing might just be something we do right at the end, just for a technical victory. I don't know if we're going to get gold. The problem is, I'm not confident in my ability to ship enough oil to unlock Denmark. Certainly not in a timely fashion. We're going to do that, just for maximum grabbage. And we are going to run a train, actually from here all the way to Stockholm, because those are both places with, like, oil-type interests. And then maybe we'll do a local train after. I don't think we have to go here. No. So from Sundsvall, we're going to go up to that. Drop a big one in there, because why not? We're going to go maintenance, water, water. I think we actually going to go the other way, because I think we get oil from Sundsvall, and I think Östersund wants it. Maybe I'm wrong. Yay! The population celebrates. Alright, what do? You actually supply oil and alcohol and all that. Really? Alright, 3 million bucks left. Of course, we have a lot of debt. That's good. Well, the debt's not good. I think, let's take a look. Have we connected everywhere we can that either demands or supplies oil? Oh, no. No, we are running some stuff to Uppsala. Uppsala produces oil. We don't quite have enough oil sinks right now. We have a few, but they're actually... I'm not convinced that the cost is going to be high enough. We really have to get over here because there's demand for oil. It's temporary, though. There's not a huge demand for oil. Member! Thank you very much for subscribing. Member. What the frack am I going to do about goddamn Norway? Why did I annex Norway? Now I'm overextended. I mean, I can connect more of the little towns, just try to build up passenger traffic, but I'm not convinced it's the way to victory. All right, we'll do some little runs over here. Oh, that bridge though. That bridge though. Hold on. None of that nonsense. Look at the tunnels it wants to build. Whoop. Yay, speed record. Maybe if I come up... There's no way to do this. Okay, if any case, I gotta go around this little house. Kind of fucking up my pathfinding here. There we go. House in the middle of nowhere. That's someone who tried to move to Norway and then got to the mountains and just gave up. Well, I mean, they're in Norway already, but they tried to move, you know, deep Norway. I think we're just gonna have to accept this bullshit. Not sure that tunnel wins us anything. Well, we gotta build at least one tunnel, because tunnels are cool, right? Alright, a little run over there, technically. I don't even know I'm building a station. I don't think it's worth running a train here. By itself. Alright, well, keep the game running. We're broke. Whoa, that is worth a lot of money. This is going... Sunsdale to... Oh, yeah, so it'll be a one-shot, but a one-shot worth 700,000, which is pretty good. We are in boom times. That helps, obviously. I'm gonna get rid of the 6% loan. It helped, but now we need to breathe for a sec. Okay, yeah, that money is coming in really, really well right this second. So, Bergen, what do you got over here? Because we don't actually have this as a goal, but you do have ports with demand for oil, which is something. And we can drop that from somewhere. So, now that we're on the hill, we can keep sort of running on it. It's still goddamn lumpy and bumpy as bullshit, though. Lillehammer. Was there like an Olympics here or something? I think maybe. Nick says, can you cross over to Norway in the north and snake your way? Yeah, possibly. The problem is these fjords are still going to F everything up. Everything in here. I mean, it's still lumpy and bumpy, but it might be a way. Maybe through Östersund? Could be. I don't think I continue this way. Well, I can with a little bridge. So, hold on. Let me pause. There's a good chance I'm going to have to do some undos over here. And also, let me turn off the electric track. No. Turn off the electric track and we can run some diesel over here. It's really not as bad for getting into here. And then the problem is getting down to Trondheim. It might be the way to go. Although we still obviously need like unlimited amounts of money. So wait a little bit longer. It's probably worth checking to see if there's a big pile of oil. And there is over here. Now, we are running a dedicated line to there, aren't we? We might not be. And things are still moving on their own, which is not good. Tell you what, we want to go... Is this electrified? I don't remember. Yes. I want to go directly from Malmo to John over there. Malmo is down here. And John is over there. Okay, it's not all electrified, so go ahead and make a diesel one. That's okay. We'll make do. And then another one from Karlskrona drop to John. Again, that's not electrified. We'll diesel it up. Yeah, grab me a bunch of oil. Bunch of oil sitting here. This is technically an oil sink. Not sinking fast enough. Oil's worth quite a bit over there. I do have a train going back and forth between these two, I think. Might be worth doing a little bit more of it. Oh, and there's oil production over here. So, I think I've already got some, but let's go ahead and add a little bit of redundancy over here just to keep as much of it flowing as possible. Bit expensive, and of course I still need to build all my tracks, and these are not necessarily going to be money-making routes. But we'll try. I haven't doubled up any of my track. I think based on the length of the track, other than when I'm building a train, there's not going to be that many situations, I think, where we're stuck waiting. Alright, we got our millions, but how many more do we need? I think ultimately we'll get our silver. Again, if nothing else, it's kind of a token kind of thing. Alright, let's go and... rare tunnels and bridges. Oops. Oh, then you actually get stomped completely. Let's pause. Yes, stock split, because if too much time goes by, we might not be able to undo everything. Who dat? Hey, Dros! Hey, Dros, thank you for the resubscribe. I'm not wrong, I think I killed you in Darkest Dungeon, and I apologize about that. Alright, this is going... Oh, I should issue more bonds, or more stock, rather. There you go. Quite a bit of fundraising going on there. Oh my god, yeah, this is a huge mountain. I think we're gonna have to tunnel through something. Whoa, what the... That bridge to nowhere. What is going on? What the frack? We're snaking things a little bit. What the hell's going on with that? Alright, I think we'll get there. I think it's because of all the water that keeps getting in the way. Alright, we'll be okay as soon as we get a little bit more cash. We'll get there. It's not pretty. And, like, the grades are just awful. We've technically arrived here for our silver goal. Yay, good enough. The question is, do we run a train on that bullshit? At all? Ever? I think we technically have to have a train running there to get credit for it. Maybe diesel. You know what? Keep yourself just to 4. How's Tron... Are you not connected? Maybe it just hasn't processed yet. Hey, there we go. Alright, so... Economic boom fading. Great. We got millions for this. I'm pretty sure we got a reward. So we've got everything we need for bronze done. We need to connect Visby for silver. Where the hell is Visby? Are you kidding me? In real life, is there a bridge that goes out there? Because that seems insane to me. There's no way. I can't build ferry lines. Alright, let's go across here. Through Bornholm. Oh my god, we can bridge it. Scenario is crazy. This scenario would be crazy. No bridge in real life. That is an insane bridge. We can't build ferries. I can cheapen it by using, like, wood bridges, but the iron bridge is relatively cheap and doesn't kill our speed completely. 4 million bucks to get across the way there to Visby. Let's go ahead and give it a big station. Deserves a big station for all that bullshit. Put a extra maintenance. There, and... Hey, Dros! For the cruel overlord. The cruel overlord of Sweden. That is me. So again, we'll use some diesel. So we'll just do Kalmar Junction to Visby to start off with. Visby connected. The population is very impressed. As long as there's more passengers or something, that would be nice. Almar still hasn't really grown. Here's a good thing. Let's check out an Escaltuna. Escaltuna is growing. So maybe that construction thing worked. Hello, Nico Decay. Thank you very much for the resubscribe. You know, maybe it is growing faster because of the construction warehouse, but I really have no clue whatsoever. Okay, let's check here. All right, we have completed our bronze and silver goals in only 12 years. As long as we can get our loads of oil going, we will succeed, because that's what we need to unlock Denmark. We unlock Denmark, and then we can connect everything up, and that'll be fine. So we need to keep finding ways to transport more oil. It's interesting, like, these train things are still going on their own. We've got a bunch of oil sitting in Lund. Might set up another direct route from Lund to there, even though it doesn't produce its own oil. It's just sitting there. It might be worth putting a shortcut from Malmo to here. We are running a train that way. We could shorten that route quite a bit. It may or may not be worthwhile. I don't know. What else are we going to do with our money? Pay off our loans? Pfft, I don't think so. There. So that'll make that train a little bit faster. We can build another one. For the sake of argument, I'll build one between Lund and there, even though it's really not going to be transporting that much. There'll be the first load of oil, and then there sort of kind of won't be any more. Still tons of oil sitting here. The question is, where do we bring it to? I mean, prices are high here, but only for a little while. They will very quickly go away. So let's find our crazy Trondheim train over here. It's actually turning a bit of a profit, which is cute. Surprised it's not bringing any oil there. Do we not have any oil sitting around in Oslo? We do. Worth 70, 80. Should be a lot higher over here, and it is. Oh, maybe the other stuff was worth more. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and build a second train from Oslo to Trondheim. And again, only leaving the fort. You know what? I'm going to force this one to bring oil. Even if alcohol or something would be worth more, I only want you to transfer oil back and forth. Thank you. That'll be fine. And I'm not going to put any more cars on this because you're going to be slow as F already. I don't know why I didn't just say fuck there. Slow as... Whoa, I better not swear, you guys. You guys have never heard me swear. Would never fucking do that. Alright, so, here's a question. We don't need for our quest to get to Bergen, but it might be a good idea in general. Now, some people pointed out that... Oh, we are slightly in debt. Yeah, we're going to have to start repaying some of these bonds, I think. Because I think there's going to be a lot of sitting around waiting for things to get delivered. So we're no longer making money from our debt. So let's issue some stock and then turn around and repay our bonds. We use the bonds to get ahead quickly. Now that we've done that, we'll do that. And now it's mostly waiting for things to be delivered. And we don't want to be paying interest on money that's not making us money. Now, we still have like 30 years to go for our victory part in Denmark. So as long as we keep delivering oil, we're going to be okay. Oh, we were paying dividends? No shit, we should have suspended that 100 million years ago. So somewhere, we do have a decent amount of expenses. But without the interest loans, we're going to be doing okay. And right now, this is in a poor economy. Boom. Now we have no more debt. Alright. Let the year go by. And then, yeah, we will probably try to run a route. These guys have some demand for oil as well. Too bad we can't build unconnected track, but I can sort of see why they would want to do that. Getting the run from here to the north would be stupendously good. Because Bergen and Kristiansund both want oil, and we've got oil here. Although, surprisingly, the oil prices are relatively high in this town, which I don't necessarily understand. What the hell? Alright, so they're probably a little bit pissed. Yeah, understandable. 14 years, so we have 36 years, no, 26 years to go to get our gold. And we're halfway on our oil. We're way ahead on alcohol. We're halfway to our oil, and we haven't even played half of the game yet. We're gonna be fine! Right now, it's just a question of let's wait for the economy to improve a bit. And we can expand. Can I personally buy any bonds right now? Yeah, not even going into debt. Nice. I mean, we're artificially increasing the stock price a little bit. We're buying it while it's cheap, while we have money in the bank, personally. Here. Buy another 5K, put ourselves personally in debt, which doesn't hurt us in any way whatsoever. Ideally, I'd like to issue stock when the economy was better, but who cares? All we want to do is try... I'd like to remember to sell stock every single year, but, you know. So, alright. Can we, in any way, in this freaking scenario, build some bridges over this stuff? Let's go to, like, common bridges and tunnels. We can skip Hodgsund. It's so confused by the hills and then the water. Just can't cope unless we went right up the hill. Well, let's try to wiggle a little and see if we might be able to pull. Okay, thank you for canceling just as I was letting go of the button. That was really annoying. Okay, slow down. We got lots of money. Go around these little puddles. Okay, this, as long as I build a little more carefully, we can potentially get there. This is going to be another bridge to nowhere. What am I, Sarah Palin? No, that's not the person who built the bridge to nowhere. In Alaska, but classically, I think. Are we... Yeah, we're not on the ground. Undo, undo. Wow! This game cannot handle Norway. Oh, we sort of stopped on a hill. Okay, I didn't realize it went up there. Can we... Alright, that might work. And then this way. There we go, so we sort of avoid that hill. Now we can cut across here. Okay, that works. Stupid slurty Bartfast. You really like making the frilly bits. At least on Earth 2.0, he decides to build all the fjords in Africa. That'd be more convenient for this particular session. I hope everyone is understanding what I'm referencing. Because if you don't, son, I am disappointed. Land me the bridge. Land it. Come on. It's like 1/2 pixel. There we are. Now, I don't know if we can fit in. Oh, we can. Yes, no. Is that technically connected? Apparently so. I'm not going to question it. Fuck it, it worked. And it's not actually that bad. We're going to skip this town. No offense to anyone who lives there. God, that is so... Woo! This is the worst thing ever. Maintenance. Maintenance. Train. Diesel train selected. Bergen to Stavanger. Let's go 6 trains. I mean, it's still pretty shitty, but... And then we're going to make one that goes the other way, too. But there should actually be some oil transportation that goes both ways. Alright. They're cutting my salary. Like, it's not my fault the stock price is down. It's the economy, stupid. To quote someone. Alright. You are not getting any maintenance? I suppose that's entirely possible, yes, actually. I can drop that in. And a little water thing on this route. Nobody in real life cares about Bergen anyway, says Captijipe. Captain JP. There we go. Now make a direct line from Bergen to Oslo. Yeah, no. I mean, I could make a train. I can make it so you got a train that goes from one to the other. I'm not going to make a direct line. Here. There we go. You can go from Bergen to Oslo and back. Hey, with alcohol! Hooray! Now, I still want to get up to Kristiansund, because there's another, like, good oil sink over there, but... oh, we can go across here. Alright. Alright. and sort of back down to the coast a bit. A bit of a grade there. Can we get across here? Whoa! Did not mean to place that. I had to go down so I could actually get a sense about the hills. Okay. Let me go... Oh, yeah. Go around that way. How do we get that going again? And I guess I can just sort of manually go something like that. That. And I run out of money. Okay. We'll get some again in a second. I mean, I know the economy is poor, but they'll make a fair amount of income. So if I build like that, will that get me close enough? No, not technically. I really want to actually cover these. I can't undo anymore, unfortunately. We're gonna have to bulldoze. Try not to bulldoze anyone's houses. Can go across, but I'm not sure that's actually a good idea. I'm not sure how we can get those. That didn't work. Well, because there's a little bit of water there, which sort of kind of gets in the way. We don't need those houses. No one needs to live there. Nope, we just did pay our big end-of-year expense. Come on. Oh, pause me again. Go, 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 go. Give me money. Maybe I should take out... Maybe I should have kept those 5%ers. We need the economy to sort of tick up a bit, and then things will go a lot better. We'll leave the speed on, I suppose. Alright, is that close enough? Yes! Bam. Water, 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 water. And a maintenance bay halfway through. Okay. Train. Diesel. We're gonna force it on oil. Say it's possible there's not gonna be an effective route, and then Stavanger all the way to there. And again, we're gonna force it on oil. There we go. Just to try to pump that up. So how are we doing on our delivery? 16 years have passed, 761 loads of oil. So we have just over 440 loads of oil left to go. And we have a lot of time. You know what? I think we're just going to leave it on fast forward quite a bit here. And I think things will manage. We'll let the money sort of pool up a little, because why not? We can issue some stock. One of the reasons my shareholders keep getting pissed. I issue more stock, so I lower their amount of money. Hey! Stock prices just went up right after, of course, I issue things, which kind of sucks, but, you know. Making money. Things are good. And, oh yeah, that's what I want to do, is I want to keep an eye on any stockpile of oil. Ooh, looks like we're clearing a lot of the oil off the map. Still a lot of it going by sea over here. And where is it going? It's because it's trying to get, I think, down to Malmo. So, okay, over here, we're going to set up a train from Oskarshamn to Malmo. Because that should actually grab some. Be diesel, grab as much as you want. And it'll mostly be oil, good. Now, where's that oil actually coming from, though? Some from Visby. Alright. So we'll go Visby down to Malmo. A lot of demand down there. Even if Malmo doesn't want it, it'll go over to Denmark, so that'll be okay. And again, we'll set it to any cargo, but it should mostly prioritize oil because of prices. It's also going to grab a fair bit of alcohol. I suppose I could set up a second train. It's a long enough route. I could force the oil, but I don't like to do that. Maybe I should, though. Okay, we'll force it one-on-one. Yeah, there's not much oil there that's worth any sort of profit, but we'll give it a try. Stockholm also produces tons of oil, but it doesn't have a lot of it sitting there, but then it's going away on its own is, I guess, part of the issue. There's a bit more of a demand in Karlskrona. So maybe one of the things to do Nope. That one. You go away. We'll set up an oil-only train between those two. There we go. And another one from Naipo, which I think had quite a lot of oil in the general area. Not to mention producing oil. There we go. Again, those have big enough areas that... Because as soon as it produces oil over here, they instantly try to start moving on their own. And because they're on the coast, it's quite easy to move along the coast, so they're happy to do that. So it's path of least resistance. And it doesn't stay there, so it can only grab oil that's in these squares. So all the oil that's already at sea is a little bit lost. If the price of oil goes up a little bit here, then they might end up being there. And that's a little annoying. I didn't realize Oskarshamn doesn't actually cover that. However, it does catch some of it. Not all of it, though. You know what? Borgholm? Is Borgholm? And that's Bornholm, right? Is it just spelled differently? And is it spelled wrong, or is it spelled differently in, you know, English versus Swedish? If I do drop a station here, it's going to catch, like, everything going by. It doesn't produce anything. It's just like a major trade capital, which I guess is appropriate for Borgholm. Tons of oil sitting there. So it's catching everything that's going by. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of this train. There we go. Very nice. Look at that. So as long as there's regular train traffic here, it'll keep catching these cars as they slowly make their way past Borgholm. Kalmar tries to grab some of it as well. But that'll be pretty good. We don't even have to send it all the way down to Malmö. Although, the Malmö then goes to Jomp, and I think maybe directly to Karlstad. Actually, I'm not sure that it does. Let's go ahead and set one of those up. Malmö to Karlstad. Max it out. Make sure it's oil. I think it would have anyway, but let's make sure. And what the hell? Let's set Malmö up to Oslo. Make sure it's oil. Again, it'll only grab the oil if it's profitable to do so. But it should be profitable to do so. And just in case alcohol happened to be more profitable than oil, we'll force the issue. Alright? And that's exactly the right phase of the game. Look at all the stuff sitting around here. Some of it's leaving on its own as well. It's producing some, and then where's some of it going? Oslo still has a really high price of oil. So what? That was Göteborg or whatever. Let's go ahead. I think you've got electric all the way. Let's force the oil. There we go. Nice. Keep the oil shipments going. We're going to give you a chance to leave, and then we're going to duplicate you. Now, Oslo doesn't necessarily have a specifically very high... Ooh. You actually can't just do oil. Tell you what, then. You can go ahead and grab everything wherever you go. Oslo doesn't have like a magically high demand. It's not actually that big. It does have a pretty high demand for some reason I haven't figured out yet. But it's not like the warehouse or this port specifically look for that much oil. Certainly the price will go down at some point. What I could do is drop a little station here in Tunsberg or something, or Fredrikstad, just to grab all the stuff that's sort of auto-shipping along the coast. Not a bad idea. And these are not necessarily money-making routes. They're just here to help us get more success. Complete our goals a little bit faster. I didn't electrify that route, so let's go ahead and do it that way. Max it out, and there's not going to be that much cargo. You can grab whatever the hell you happen to find. But a good amount of the time, there will be a little oil on the coast that we can capture. And that'll be fine. We can do the same thing on the other side. So let's go ahead and electrify this one. So if we bring this track like all the way down to the coast sort of as much as we can, I guess that'll be good enough. There we go. We'll grab everything on the other side. There. Overkill route that most of the time won't make any money, but we'll give it a try anyway. How are we doing? There we go. 250 loads of oil left. We're halfway through. We're going to do this. No problem. We got this, guys. Excellent. We're going to have to figure out what map we're going to play after this. Because we might have time for a second one. It's hard to tell. It's going to bring us close to 3. And then, you know, if we go into our Team Fortress 2 at that point. Unrest in Poland. What year is it? No, it's after World War II. This, oh my god, this scenario doesn't even acknowledge the existence of World War II. I mean, I like the fact that we're playing in this area, because it's cool. But the lack of industry And the fact that it doesn't acknowledge the fact that we just went through World War II. It's crazy. No events. Every other scenario is like spawns like munitions and barracks and everything. It's a great looking map, but I would want to make it a lot more interesting to play on. I wonder if I just loaded this map in sandbox mode, if it might enable or disable certain industries. Just turn them all on. All right, we've got millions. Just have to wait for all the oil. Economy's slowing. Really? I thought it was already pretty slow. Tons of oil here. Prices are still high in Karlstrad. Tons of oil here, but... And actually, quite a bit of it's moving on its own, which is unacceptable. There we go. We want those loads. Even if only one train load of it might ever be profitable. But anywhere we see oil moving on its own, we want to butt in and interfere. Yeah, there's hardly any flow here. See, look at this. There's double demand for oil over here, and yet the price for oil is 0. 0. There's... Oh, no, this producing here. Hold on. Here's the sink. All right, I guess it's technically non-zero over here, but God, barely. And we do have a train that goes between these two, so there's not really much to add it. Like, there's just... I guess I could run a long train from here anywhere south. Even Stockholm. Actually, that makes sense. So, Sundsvall to Stockholm. I won't force the oil. But yeah, it's all going to be oil. Alright, that's okay. Don't mind that. I need as much money as possible once we do get into Denmark to be able to connect everything up. Okay, we're almost there. We just need 70 more loads. 70 more loads of oil, and we will auto-unlock Denmark. Recession ahead. Bad timing for that, but not the end of the world. Dun, dun, dun. And then all we have to do is connect all the Danish towns. Will can into Denmark, that's right, but in this... Bedinsis? Ding, 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 ding. $10 million! I haven't missed anything else for our gold, have we? Nope, just Copenhagen and connect everything in Denmark. No problem. I love the harmonica music. One of my favorite things. Copenhagen, open the gates! Rail Vikings has earned access by alcohol and oil transports. Captain Kidd's treasure found buried on Tropico. Tropico? I know that place. I'm the ruler there. When I'm not running a train company. Okay. We'll keep the electric tracks on. That's fine. We'll just bridge directly across here. Drop through Copenhagen thusly. Big station. Bam. So much easier to build here, too. Repair. Supply. Run a train. Malmo to Copenhagen. We're actually going to run a pair. Wait. That's not electrified? Copenhagen has railway to connection. Oh. There we go. Now we're electrified over there. Malmo to Copenhagen. Electrified. Bam. And yeah, I'll make one that goes the other way as well. Right now, again, these cities are not very big on this map. Which I guess is fine. It's forcing you to mostly make money from the oil and alcohol as opposed to just making tons of money from passengers. So that's, I guess, fair. Big bridge. Perfectly straight line. Perfectly level as well. Not nicer than having to work in Norway. Just saying. So, you know, to complete the scenario, all we have to do is reach everything. So we could save some money by turning the electric tracks off, actually. We just have to get everything connected. We don't even have to run the trains. That. We've got one more over here. So, yeah, what we'll do is the big station over here. Oh, wait, reach that. That actually annoys me greatly. Hang on. Even though I don't need to, it just annoys me. I don't know if we'll be able to fit anything there. There we go. Lovely. We got that. Drop a medium one in there. Large one here, just to technically get the port, and I won't be annoyed. Turning over here. Oh, colding is not connected. Now it is. Already connected, already connected, already connected, already connected, already connected, and there as well. Economy crashes. Great. Look at that. Connect up Denmark, economy crashes. And I think technically they need a train to trigger as a route. Maybe not. Let it go a month and see what it says. Yeah, no. We technically need trains. They specifically want a connection to Copenhagen. So one train will probably do it. Haven't missed any, have we? It's connected to, I assume, Copenhagen? Copenhagen and connected to all cities in Denmark. Maybe it needs first load to arrive. That's entirely possible, too. Hey, what? I'll make a bunch of direct routes, just because I'm a nice guy that way. And I have money. Everyone, no matter where you live, you can go directly to Denmark. You can't go to your neighboring town. No, no, no. Or Copenhagen. You can't go to your neighboring town, but you can go to Copenhagen anywhere you live in Denmark. Oops. I think I got them all. I'm pretty sure it's not required that I do this nonsense. I think it just hasn't processed yet. You're missing a city. What city? Well, that's not part of Denmark, is it? Oh, shit! Okay, thank you. I would never have in a million years guessed that this was part of Denmark. No offense to anyone who lives in the area, but... There we go. That ought to do it. Hey! Gold medal! Yeah! Look at me! I got my swanky train with the electric lights, my comfortable house coat, my top hat. I got to change from a conductor's hat to a top hat. Gerson long... Hold on. Quill 18 plus stream.